Ever seen someone walk into a room and suddenly everyone else shifts? That's not charm, it's control. Now, imagine that person was you. Sounds good? Then sit your ass down and watch, because today I'll show you how 3 philosophers, Nietzsche, Machiavelli, and Marcus Aurelius, reveal the most dangerous power move. If you don't learn how to command this energy, you'll spend your life adjusting to people who do. Hey, rockers! Are you ready to rock? Let's rock that wisdom! What happens when someone cuts you off mid-sentence and keeps talking like you weren't even there? Ever fake a laugh just to keep things smooth? Smile through a jab. Maybe you are telling yourself you're picking your battles. But tell you what, you're probably just avoiding all of them. And don't get me wrong, I used to do this constantly, nodding and smiling when I should have held my ground. And here's what Nietzsche would say about that.
The will to power, not to life, is the fundamental drive of all beings.
Not the will to survive, not the will to be liked, not the will to keep the fucking peace. Power, the drive to expand. So ask yourself, when someone talks over you, not to attack you, just because they don't think what you said matters, what do? Do you shrink? Do you smile it off? Do you hold back? And you call all of this being chill. But chill can be camouflage for cowardice. Chill can be a synonym for flinching. And that is not the will to power. That is the will to shit. The most dangerous person in the room isn't the one who dominates. It's the one who doesn't flinch. They don't need to win the moment. They don't need to explain their position. They don't perform just because the room wants a reaction. They just stand there, unmoved, like their presence is already the final word. So, what about you? When you get stepped over, subtly, quietly, and you stay frozen? Is that presence or fear? Because tell you what, just sitting there can actually be a power move, but not when it comes from fear, shyness, being little, a sorry-ass puppy. Let me show you how it actually works. You ever been talking to someone who just sits there? No reaction, no emotional feedback. They're not giving you shit. It's not that they are staring in silence, it's just that they won't let you in any way. And without realizing it, you start trying harder. You talk more, you over-explain. You start monitoring their face like a lab rat, trying to guess what they're thinking. And that drives you crazy, because you can't tell if you're being judged, ignored, or seen through.
A leader is best when people barely know he exists.
Yeah, not because he's hiding, because he's unreadable. And that forces everyone else to show their cards first. That's the move. Stillness doesn't mean being the quiet one in the corner. It doesn't mean hiding, or avoiding, or never speaking. It means when you do speak, there's no giveaway, no flinch, no nervous laugh, no need to fill the silence. They try to read you, but there's nothing to grab. No tells, no emotional breadcrumbs, no leverage. They push, and it's like hitting smoke. You're fully there, but not up for sale. But what happens when you're not just unreadable? Nietzsche taught you not to flinch. Machiavelli will show you how to make them flinch first. Ready? You ever notice how quickly people respect what they don't understand? They don't know what you're thinking. They don't know what you'll do. And so, they play it safe. They don't test your limits because they don't know where they are.
It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both.
Fear isn't about making people scared. It's about making them second-guess everything they say around you. You don't need to be liked. You just need to be a fucking question mark with teeth. It's not random chaos. You are the chess player who makes the unexpected move that forces their opponent to recalculate everything. Because the moment you become unpredictable, you become untouchable. Most people broadcast every emotion like a busted speaker. You ask them how they are. Boom. Full emotional playlist. You give them static. Not nothing. Not silence. Static. Let them tune in harder, so fear doesn't come from staying quiet. It's when you're fully present, watching, listening, calm as hell, and they realise they can't read you. You're not cold. You're not fake. You're just not giving them shit to work with, and that makes them nervous. And hey, rockers, this is not just a kill switch for professional settings and confrontations. You hold that energy at a dinner, on a date, in a text, and suddenly, people lean in. Just be criterious and know when to use it. How to know? Simple. If you're doing it to protect yourself, it's fear. If you're doing it to stay in control without performing, it's power. So you refused to flinch. You became unpredictable. Good. Now what? Just sit there being cryptic? Nah, fuck that. Now it's time to say something they can't unhear. Grab a beer. Marcus Aurelius is up next. You ever watch someone over-explain themselves? They say a thing, then say it again, softer, then rephrase it just in case, then look around for approval. I've done it. You've probably done it too. Like when you share an idea in a meeting and no one reacts right away. So you rush to explain it, soften it, add a maybe, and with every extra word, you stop sounding confident. You just sound nervous. That's what happens when your truth is insecure, when your words are flinching, even if you're not. Marcus Aurelius instead ruled a fucking empire without ever needing to beg for understanding. Because when you know what you are, you don't need to explain it.
Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one.
That's not just philosophy. That's a warning shot. Aurelius didn't perform. He embodied, because when your life speaks for you, your mouth doesn't have to. You can say it once, say it clean, then shut the fuck up. So what's the most dangerous power move for respect? Someone brings up an old wound, expecting a reaction. You just say, that's in the past, and mean it. They question your choices at dinner. You say, you don't have to get it, and keep eating. You pause before you speak, make them wait for the answer. You're at the gym, someone's watching. You finish, rack the weight, walk off without eye contact. Someone pushes your buttons. You don't defend, don't explain, just stare like, that's it. That is stillness. Because when you stop reacting, you stop trying to win them over. And suddenly, they're not so sure how to act around you. And that is respect.